there, everybody. Welcome to Shaney Entertainment. As you can tell, I'm donning more of a sophisticated look, more mature look, because I have a lot of sophisticated things to talk about. So basically, a lot of things have been going on in the last week or so. Some things that have irked a whole bunch of people, and a lot of people from my generation. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about this. See, they want us to believe that this was this. The Thundercats, right guys? Yeah, so those people who don't know, they tried to reboot the Thundercats. They came out with this new Thundercat reboot, and this is what it looks like, guys. Now, a lot of people have given their opinions already about it. What do I think about all this? Well, I'm gonna pull the old one out of the closet and say, yes, well, that's the sort of blinking Philistine pig ignorance I've come to expect from you non-creative garbage. I mean, what the hell is this? What is this? This is supposed to be this? I mean, this is what we were raised with, guys, and this is what they're giving us now. I don't know, I'm starting to feel old here, guys. Let me tell you, my generation ain't getting no respect. I mean, first they take Star Wars, then they take Star Trek, and now they're taking Thundercats? I tell you, no respect. And this is the guy who did it. His name is Victor Courtright, and let me tell you, he ain't getting nothing right. I mean, look at his hair. Hey, listen, I've heard of a dreadlock, but a shitlock? I mean, look at these two guys over here. Hey, you know what they have in common? Number one, they're both about to ruin a franchise. And number two, both of their art looks like number two. And number three, hey, look at them. They're like the poster boys for birth control. I tell you, we don't get no respect at all. I'm breaking out the oldies, guys, because that's how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling old. Have we become our grandfathers? Have we all become like Grandpa Simpson? We're just shouting out, hello, everything sucks. Where's my pills? That's how I'm feeling, guys, because every time I look, there's a new reboot or a new remake or a new thing, and it just angers me. Like The Last Jedi, everything. Just the Ghostbusters, Gem, Transformers, they're out to destroy all of the things we love. Either that, or maybe we're just too old. Maybe everything's just passing us by. But is that the case, guys? Are we just too old? So I don't know. I'm starting to think it's not that we're old. I'm starting to think, old. We may not be, but wise. We most definitely are. Right? Because I don't think it's old, guys. To be honest with you, I've thought about it. Because I don't like to just knee-jerk reaction to everything. That's why it takes me a long time to get and formulate my thoughts. Because I don't like to post things right away because I get my anger all fueled up and then I just start spewing out anger and hate. And before you know it, I end up like Roseanne Barr. You know, you got to collect your thoughts first, right? Before you start spewing out things. Then that's what I do here. I have to think about it. And I didn't give my opinion on The Last Jedi right away. I had to think about it first. I took in all the information, brought it in, internalized it, and then thought to myself, why? Why does this bother you? Because that's a major key, right? I mean, why does this bother us so much, right? Is it just the animation style? Is that the only thing that bothers us about this? What was it about The Last Jedi that I hated so much? I couldn't just spew it out. I had to formulate it. I had to go, this bothers me. It's an emotional response, and we all have one. And I had one to both these things. I had one to Ghostbusters. I had a very emotional response. The minute I saw it, alarm bell inside of me, danger, Will Robinson, danger, right? Something was wrong. Something was up. And it took me a while to figure all these out. Because you're like, okay, I should like this, right? It's got the Ghostbuster symbol on it. It's got proton packs and Slimer. Why can't I like this? Are they right? Am I sexist? I have to think about myself. I have to look at the man in the mirror. Ow! Right? I have to do that, right? I have to look at myself in the mirror and say, Shane, are you a sexist? Well, that's why we go through YouTube and we watch all these videos because we want to feel what's wrong with us. Am I just old? Is that why I can't get on board with this new way of animation? Am I just an old man? It's life passing me by. Come on, start it! Am I one of those guys now in the backyard shaking your fists going, you youngins don't know about my generation when I was young, right? Is that what we're doing? And I had to figure it out. I had to figure out why I hated it. And I came to this conclusion. Do I have a reason to hate this? You're goddamn right I do. Thundercats, no. That's what everyone's saying. Thundercats, ho! Now let me just, everyone's talked about problems with the animation and all that stuff. Now, granted, this animation is deplorable. Like I said, this thing is so ugly, you'd have to put a bone around it to get the dog to play with it. Let me tell you, this really stinks. The animation stinks so bad, it makes Rat God go left. It'll make Speed Stick slow down. Hey, let me tell you, now that's stinky. No question that this is lazy, but it's the new generation. They like this. I know, what can I say? The new generation just apparently likes lazy, sloppy seconds is what they like, right? What else can you say about it? It's sloppy seconds. Firsts, Seconds. Is that what your kids want? I know your kids aren't watching this. Do you really want our sloppy seconds? Let me tell you, I didn't want sloppy seconds when I was in high school. And if I was your age, I wouldn't want sloppy seconds now. And this is worse than sloppy seconds. But there's more to it than just the animation style. Because that's just enough to kind of go, yeah. I mean, let me give you an example. While the animation is lazy and crappy, you know, and by today's standards, this is kind of the norm. When we were younger, remember, we had a lot of these. Look at how sculpted and well animated this looks, as far as the detail work and all that, right? It was really nice. Now, at the time, this was like, I think 86, come to I think 1989 or 90. I'm trying to remember, I think 1990, 91. Maybe I'm wrong. That's when they introduced the Batman animated series. And the Batman animated series kind of looked blocky. It looked sort of the square jaw, and it didn't have the same sort of detail. The drawings didn't have the detail that the original cartoons had, right? When I first saw images for Batman the Animated Series, my first thought was, ew, I don't think I like that at all, right? That was my first impressions. I mean, look at it, what's with the square jaw? There's absolutely no definition on the body. I mean, we're so used to seeing muscles protrude when you see Super Friends and all that stuff. We saw the definition of the muscles and everything, and then when Batman the Animated Series came out, it looked very blocky, and for the time, right, and we're talking about comparatively speaking, right, for the time when you go from something that was muscular and defined to blocky and weird, you're like, I don't know if I'm on board on this, right? But then I saw the trailer, the commercial. When I saw the commercial for it, my jaw just went, ah. The reason why they took away from the artwork, the look, was they wanted to add it to the motion. The action sequences. The stories were phenomenal. They actually took Batman, with Tim Burton version of Batman, and they made it better, right? They actually added Harlequin, they built a better universe, they kept the same mood, and they built upon it, and they made something fantastic with it. To me, to this day, Batman the Animated Series holds up as one of the best cartoons of all time, in my opinion. They had to take away from the look, right? So that they could put the motion better. They took away so they could add. This catastrophe isn't taking away to add. This catastrophe is just being lazy and sloppy and making excuses like, hey everybody, this is all the rage with all the new kids. So my point of that was just to say that this is why I'm not necessarily overly bothered by the animation style. While shitty, I would still kind of say, okay, looks like crap. You know, things are kind of headed in a downslope, so maybe comparatively this might look like crap, but maybe it's a good show. Maybe give it a chance, right? So then they released the trailer. This little mini sort of like trailer where Lion-O, this guy, Lion-O, the guy who's supposed to look like this, right, comes out with his sword. And now, guys don't know about Thundercats. The Sword of Omens is like the most important thing. This is the heart of the planet that they're from, called Thundera. This is like the key to everything. This is like the Force for Star Wars, like the lightsaber. This is something that is revered, probably the center focus of the entire show. And it's a serious thing. Now he comes out, Lion-O, and says, hi, I'm Lion-O. I'm the king of the Thundercats. And this is my, and he has a hard time lifting it, slicing stick, the Sword of Omens. And then he proceeds to chop through a television set for some reason. Now, what's wrong with that, Shane? It's funny. It's all for chuckles. You're all about chuckles. Shouldn't you like this? Yes, I am all about the chuckles, my friend. But I like to keep it semi-serious, too. Because I like a balance. Fun, funny, happy, and serious. That's why I'm donning the serious look, guys. It's all about balance. Right away, when I saw that, I'm thinking, whoa, 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 whoa! This is where being wise comes into play. I'm starting to see through their shenanigans. They're trying to hornswoggle me. Keeping with the whole old vibe. The whole old-timer theme, right? We're being hornswoggled, guys. Concern it. And I'm seeing through this charade that they're doing. This is not, and don't let anybody fool you, this is not a reboot. You know, they want to tell you it's a reboot, but this is not a reboot. In no form, shape, or form is this a reboot. This is a parody. Now, a parody is not a reboot. If you're a fan of anime, they actually have serious show, and sometimes if a serious show gets popular enough, sometimes the animators want to get creative and they have what they call a chibi, or a chibi, I think it's pronounced. Chibi. It's like basically a pudgy, sort of sillier version of the real cartoon, or the real anime, and it's kind of like a satire on the anime itself. So you have the anime, and then the animators and the creators say, hey, let's make fun of ourselves, and they put the silly version, which is a few episodes, but it's just, you know, kind of a quick egg, but they're still running the serious one at the same time. This, however, this is not running at the same time as a serious one. This is just satire, and it's just, like they like to say in British, they like to take the piss out of everything. And that's what they're doing here, they're just taking the piss out of it. So this guy, Victor Von Doom, is saying, I like Thundercats. No. You don't like Thundercats. Your brothers like Thundercats. You just don't like your brothers. And you're probably trying to take the piss out of it. And I like that term. I don't know where it started from, taking the piss out of things. Just picture a guy urinating and somebody took the piss out of me. I had to pee. And then for some reason, I got the piss taken out. If there's somebody who knows where that term came from, let me know in the comments. That's pretty much what they're doing. They're mocking something we loved. Now, I heard somebody else defend this cartoon and say it was an SJW, Kel's the Priest, and he was like, well, maybe you should all just give it a chance. How do you know you don't like it until you've watched the bloody show? I mean, for all we know, this could make it better. We can think more fondly of Thundercats, and the new generation could look at this cartoon, and, it could possibly grow to something further. Maybe a blessing in disguise. Why did you just give it a chance? No, I shall not give this a chance. Sorry, I'm not going to give it a chance. I cannot give this a chance. Why? Because it's not Thundercats. To say, if you just give it a chance, maybe it'll grow and become something fantastic. Yes, that might work. That could happen. But here's why I don't think it's likely to happen. Because if this was an actual Thundercats reboot, I'd say sure. But it's not a reboot. Like I said, this is a parody. It's like Star Wars after the Return of the Jedi. And then Mel Brooks came out and said, I'm bringing back Star Wars. And he came up with Spaceballs. But instead he didn't call it Spaceballs. He called it a reboot of Star Wars. Would everybody have said, hey, wait a minute. It looks similar to Star Wars, but feels off. It's all wrong. It's jokey. It's making fun of things. Hey, this is a satire, guys. What are you trying to pull? That's what he's trying to pull. They're taking the piss out of it. They're trying to make fun of it. This is not Thundercats. The only reason it's Thundercats is that it has this logo here. And this is another thing that they're trying to trick us with, guys. You see the logo? If you see the logo in some of the shots, you'll see, and that's what they did in Ghostbusters, and that's what they did in Star Wars and Star Trek, right? They give you recognizable things, right? Whether it's the logo or the music or ships, or whatever the hell it is. See, guys, what you're watching is what you remember, guys. See the logo? They don't make a silly logo, did they? Look at it. It's not silly. They could have made it in that crappy animated style, but they didn't. They kept it cool. They kept it exactly the way it is. Why did they keep the logo? Because all they give a crap is about the brand. And this is where they try to do the bait and switch, because once people start getting angry about all this, right, the first thing they do is they throw out, well, this isn't for you anyway. This is for kids. This is truly for kids, then you wouldn't be keeping this logo like this. The only reason this logo is here, in the first place, was to draw my generation in. You wanted my money, and my viewership, and my attention. And I just like this because this is a nice massage. That's what they wanted, our money. And they want our attention, because they know that ours isn't guaranteed. So they don't have to appeal to us. They think that all they need to do is slap this on, make this look real and look right, and that's good enough for us, right? We're dummies. Hey guys, that's the logo I recognize. I'm gonna watch this every day, right? And there are some people who are like that, unfortunately. You slap on the logo, and the real hardcore fanboys, they're gonna be like, all nipples hard going, yes, give me back my childhood, I need it. But for us, more wise, that we see through this crap. See, there's a disconnect. Yeah, some people may not like a certain thing. Like, they tried to reboot the Thundercats before, and there was some people who didn't like it, and there were people who loved it. I liked it. I even bought the toys. This sword's actually from that reboot series. So I actually tried to support it at the time, and I really liked it. And it was different. And there were people who didn't like it because it was too different, right? Oh, they changed the look, they changed this, they changed a little bit of the story. There's always going to be those hardcorers that are purists that are going to hate change for the sake of change. But it was not received like this. I mean, this is received horribly for a reason. There's a reason why Ghostbusters was one of the most hated, downvoted trailers in the world, because they realized, you recognize it right away. When I internalized it and I figured it out, Ghostbusters wasn't a reboot of Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was a parody. They were taking the piss out of it. Let me explain what I mean. Because Ghostbusters was a silly premise. Silly premise that was played straight by all the actors. And it was directed well. The horror elements were taken seriously. It was a silly concept with a serious tone and a serious situation. And the actors played their roles seriously. I think the only one that was kind of not really, was Venkman, but that's Bill Murray's style and that's who he is. But everyone else played it straight. Whereas you look and the jokes of Ghostbusters and the look of Ghostbusters and everything. It was like, for kids, number one, goofy and cartoonish. The jokes were just ridiculously slapstick and silly, like queef jokes. I mean, the colors splashed everywhere was just too much. And it wasn't the girls aspect. I didn't care that they had girls. I mean, yes, I do, because I kind of was hoping for part 3. Not that they were girls, but the fact that they replaced what we knew with girls, as opposed to added girls into an existing timeline. Even if all the old ones retired and we were replaced by all girls, I would have been fine with that. But the fact that they decided to make that, oh, everything you guys knew about Ghostbusters lives in a different universe, and here's the more jokey, slapsticky parody. Because that's how the actors played it. They played it like a joke. All of them were kind of with like a tongue-in-cheek smiley, like as if they themselves were in on a joke that we weren't. That we were trying to be serious watching a movie, and they're laughing at themselves like, isn't this movie so silly? Oh my god, oh, my proton pack, ah! Right? That's what we were getting. Silly slapstick nonsense. We were trying to take it seriously because the old one was taking it seriously. This one was a joke. Maybe people who never cared about the old Ghostbusters or didn't see it, they could appreciate this for what it was. Like even Ghostbusters, the only thing you kept was the logo. Why? You wanted us to believe that your little silly slapstick joke taking a piss out of something is the same as what we were to kids. But it isn't. You just wanted the cha-ching, and that's it. Now when cha-ching isn't going the way you thought or you hoped, you guys are going to play out this defensive card and say, well, it wasn't for you anyway, and you're sexist, by the way. Which is a complete joke. I mean, okay, some people were sexist, but the amount of hate, though, that was on this movie had nothing to do with it, with sexism, all right? The ratio was too far gone for that to be the case. And the same thing with this, with Thundercats. And the same thing with The Last Jedi. The ratio is too imbalanced of hate towards a certain thing for it to just be about racism and sexism and just, youngism, I don't know, millennialism, I don't know what you want to call it, but whatever they're saying, it has nothing to do with that. And it's not that we're afraid of change, it's that this is a joke and it's making fun of something that we love. And when they say, well, give it a chance, I could give it a chance if this was actually Thundercats. This is not Thundercats. This is Steven Universe or Teen Titans Go slapped with a paint job that looks like Thundercats. It'd be like me going to a Ferrari dealership saying, hey, come and check out this Ferrari. Isn't it a great Ferrari? It's got the logo of the Ferrari. Body looks like a Ferrari. And I buy it and I take it home and I open up the trunk and inside is a Peugeot engine. And like, I didn't want a Peugeot. Why did I choose Peugeot? Peugeots make good cars, but it's a Ferrari. You would be a little upset that you spent this money on a Ferrari, and then the engine and the performance and everything inside is completely different. And that's even better because at least the outside looked like a Ferrari. This outside looks like a Peugeot, and the inside is actually like a bike. It's like, ring, ring, ring. It's like the Flintstones car inside of it. Because what they're doing is actually no resemblance to the actual show itself. Nothing. So when you say, oh, give this Thundercats show a chance, I would if this was actually Thundercats. This logo is the only thing of it that is Thundercats. Nothing else. This is Spaceballs at best. If Spaceballs called itself Star Wars. And you can kind of see that if they did do that, that would kind of get people a little pissed off too, don't you think? But guys of my generation, I'm starting to see that this is all going to collapse very soon. This is culminating to a point where, damn it, we're tired of all this stuff. We're not going to take it anymore, right? So, I'm going to leave on a positive note. You know what they say? Some things in life are bad. That could really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. I'm ending how I started, with Monty Python. Alright guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like and all that sort of jazz. Jazz hands. Tell me, do you agree with me? Are we all just getting a con job? Are you starting to feel a really bit tuckered out? Are you feeling old like me? Hey, let me tell you, I'm better looking now than I was 13 years ago. They're the type of guys who aren't breastfed because their mother said they'd only like them as a friend. Anyway guys, that's it for me.